Gotcha games, things that can last for many, many years and can bring happiness to a lot of people who don't have time to sit down and log in a bunch of hours on a game that is mandatory to be at home, or they can be games that last, well, to not sugarcoat it, a month. But in this world that we live in, to where gotcha games have become more and more popular, are winning awards, and with us being in the year 2024, to where we're now starting to realize that we should preserve more stuff, I've decided to make a list of some gotcha games that I would love to come back and have their own personal private server. So with that being said, let's dive right into this video. And the first game that we're going to start off with, technically speaking, okay, so before we get started, some of these games might already have like offline servers, wink wink, but you know, I'm just going to throw some of these out here. So the first one that I have is shockingly, Tales of Luminera. Okay, I know this game was not around that long. I think at the most it was around for like 2 or 3 months before Bandai Namco and all of their brilliant ideas decided to exit. But I honestly think if this game was around a little bit more longer, it probably could have been something good. They probably could have did like collabs with like the other Tales of franchises and stuff. Could have been interesting. I like the concept of how the game played. And like I said, it had a really good voice cast too. Like it had the markings to be an amazing gotcha game, but Bandai Namco said, you know what, guys, we're not making enough money, so we're gonna exit in like 2 months. Don't understand why they did that, but it is what it is. The next game, shockingly, is another Tales of game. Tales of Crusadia. Once again, this game had the potential to be something great. It was around longer than Luminera, which is something that I don't understand, right? Because Bandai Namco shut down Crusadia so that they could promote Luminera, and like I said in the previous thing, Luminera wasn't around that long. So them shutting one game down to promote another one is stupid, and I still don't understand why they do that with some of their games. But anyways, Crusadia could have been something great too. It was really good. It had a lot of like, you know, main cast of the Tales of franchise. It was a different, not a different take on it, but it was something interesting. And I would love to be able to play this off, you know, on a private server, wink wink. And yeah, next on the list, Tales of the Rays. Now I know what you're thinking. These three were all Tales of games. Yes. Okay. I have these set up on my phone, so I'm just kind of looking through to these. But anyways, the Rays was also the same thing. Rays, the JP version of Rays had collabs that the global version didn't. I think it had like collabs with like Guilty Gear, Black Clover, Berserk. I could be wrong, but they did a bunch of collabs. And before the game introduced stamina, it was one of those games to where essentially if one wanted to, you could play it 24/7 and not have to worry about waiting for your stamina to refill and blah blah blah. So there's always that. The game was pretty generous with like how much stuff it gave you. And once again, it was another Tales of game, because even like back then and today, the Tales of franchise doesn't have any mobile games. Because before we had, you know, Crusadia, Luminera, the JP game Tales of Australia or something. So we had options, but in 2024, the Tales of like fans don't have any mobile games to play. So it was just good that we had a mobile game, so that way people could be like, oh hey, this game looks interesting, and maybe it could make them go want to play like the console games or whatever. We don't have that no more. So and for the love of God, Bandai Namco, if you guys are going to make another Tales of mobile game, let it breathe, okay? Just let it breathe for a little bit, and then if it doesn't do well after a while, then shut it down. But don't just axe it just because it's not doing well in like the first month or two. I don't know why you guys do that. But anyways, moving on to the next thing. Okay, I don't know how many of you are going to remember this one, because this one This one is an oldie. If you remember this, let me know. Dungeon Link. Okay. Dungeon Link. Oh my god. I remember playing Dungeon Link throughout high school. This game was so amazing. It was beautiful. Okay. It was beautiful. I also didn't know that like Dungeon Link and Guardian Tales have a connection. Did not know that until a while ago. But Dungeon Link was so fun. It was a linking game, so you like would like link up the character. I would definitely put footage up because I can't explain it. But Dungeon Link was a great time. I remember grinding this game so much, and it was just something fun. It was a breath of fresh air, especially during the time it was out, because I think the only games that I remember being out were like Brave Frontier, Dokkan Battle back in its back in like its 2-year timeline. So not the best time to play Dokkan Battle, if I'm being honest, but we had that. I think we had like Blood Brothers out at the time too, and I think that was it. So it was a breath of fresh air to play this, and it was really fun. Okay, a really fun game. I genuinely can't remember if the game was very like free to play friendly, but it doesn't matter. The game was fun. I love the characters. I love the concept of it, and yeah. Once again, if you guys know any private servers that are hosting this, let me know. Wink, wink. Another game that I would like is Phantom of the Kill. Now, I know what you're thinking. Technically speaking, the game is still around on the JP side. Actually, no. I think the JP version is gone. Anyways, before I became like a Fire Emblem fan, because once again, when this game came out, Fire Emblem Heroes was not a thing. And I didn't know about Fire Emblem at all during this time. Okay, had no idea. But playing Phantom of the Kill, and people were saying that like, oh, Phantom of the Kill is like the mobile game version of Fire Emblem. And at the time, I didn't realize that. But then when I played Three Houses like a few years back, I'm like, oh, now I see why people were saying that this is literally like the mobile version of Fire Emblem. But yeah, Phantom of the Kill, amazing. Okay, I loved the characters. I love the gameplay. Once again, very unique. I'm going to say this a lot with some of the games, but very unique gameplay. Literally Fire Emblem, but for phones. At the time, we didn't have heroes or anything like that. So very unique, very fun. The game wasn't the most friendly, but it is what it is. It had its times to where it was. And yeah, nothing more to say about that. Moving on to the next one. Okay, there are 3 that I'm going to save to the end. I just have to remind myself, but there are 3 I'm going to save until the end, so I'm not going to do those ones. Okay, Star Ocean, a Nemesis. This one hurts, okay? This one hurts because, like with Phantom of the Kill, actually, no, that's a lie. I was about to say, I didn't know about Star Ocean until this game, but around the time Star Ocean, a Nemesis came out, I was playing through whatever Star Ocean had Ronald on it. I don't remember. It was PS4 one, but it was during that time. And once again, unique gameplay. I liked the way the characters looked, and honestly, this game shutting down inspired me to want to play more Star Ocean, because back in the day, I knew about Star Ocean. Like, I remember playing a little bit of 1 and 2 on my PSP, but I never finished either of them. Which, I mean, yeah, I need to finish Star Ocean. I'm like at the final boss of 1, but I haven't finished it. And 2, I need to put that on my catalog. But yeah, it's game very unique. I like the way the characters looked, and that damned Persona collab was the thing that killed this game. So if you don't know, there's a curse going around that if any game does a collab with Persona 5 or any Persona game, normally it dies within a few months. Okay. Dragalia Lost is an example. Star Ocean is an example. Sword Art Online is an example. There have only been 3 survivors from this, from what I remember. One of those is Lost Claudia, Puzzles and Dragons, and Grand Blue Fantasy. But Grand Blue Fantasy ain't going nowhere anytime soon. But anyways, yeah, Star Ocean Nemesis was a good time because it goes back to the thing I was saying about Tales of fans. Star Ocean fans don't have any mobile games besides this one until they axed it. So you can't really draw attention to the Star Ocean franchise without a mobile game. And with this being gone, it's kind of just like people who want to play Star Ocean, they have to either buy the Switch ports of them, or watch gameplays or have a friend mention it to them to where they could play the mobile game and they could be like, oh cool, Star Ocean, this looks interesting, and raise the profits of Star Ocean. But I guess that's not the case with Star Ocean. But once again, I would love for this to have like a private server, much like all the other games on this list. Next thing, Dragon Quest of the Stars. This one hurts too because, once again, big Dragon Quest fan. Okay, I've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest in like the last couple of years because I just have been. And when this game was announced, because I think this game came out on JP first and then it hit global. I can't remember, but being able to make your own OC essentially, and being able to not venture through the story of Dragon Quest, but just move around in it with your own character was cool. The gameplay wasn't like unique, but it was definitely a different take on how games were back in the day. So very, very unique. It wasn't the most friendly with like being able to summon for stuff. You definitely had to spend money to get like the best gear ever, and yeah, I mean that's fine. If someone made a private server, I imagine everything would be free. But yeah, I don't have more to say about that. I just miss it. Okay, so some of these things I don't have reasons besides I just miss them. Okay, and Dragon Quest is definitely one of those. Next game on the docket, World Flipper. So, World Flipper was something that I didn't think I was going to like, but I enjoyed it a lot since it's a pinball game. And I was like, when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, cool, pinball. Ooh, what kind of moron is gonna like that? And well, look at where we are today. I'm making a video about World Flipper and how much I miss it. Game was very, very friendly. Okay, very friendly. It's not like there are games that are super duper friendly, which honestly I shouldn't make a big deal about. But World Flipper was very friendly. It was just something you could do on the side. A lot of these games, you could have a side games. Like a lot of these are just side games. And World Flipper was one of those. You just do a quest, you auto it, blah blah blah. You get your stuff, you move on. And yeah, World Flipper has some cool character designs, and it has made me a fan of pinballs. I'm not gonna lie. Like I actually want to go play pinball more now since I played World Flipper. But yeah. The next game on the list is One Piece Treasure Cruise. Whoa, never mind. That game is still alive. Thousand Storm. One Piece Thousand Storm. Now, this game shut down earlier this year, but the global version has been gone for a very long time. And this game was very free to play. Like, you could get every character for free. You just had to summon for their abilities. And I know, I'm tired of me saying this, but very unique. Okay? Very unique gameplay of being able to, like, not control your characters, but, like, having to summon for their abilities so they could get, like, new attacks and stuff. I thought it was interesting. I'm a huge One Piece fan, and at the time, it was something new for the One Piece fan base, because at the time when this came out, the only game that we had was Treasure Cruise. And I mean, sure, it's still live now, but, like, yeah. If you play Treasure Cruise, then you know how much of a shit show that game is right now. But yeah, Thousand Storm, unique, no stamina involved. You can play it all day if you wanted to, and it was really fun. A breath of fresh air. I loved it. I missed it. Yeah. Next game, Tokyo Ghoul Rebirth, and it's hard to be a Tokyo Ghoul fan. Okay, it is hard to be a Tokyo Ghoul fan, and any year after the manga's been over, because if you were a fan of Tokyo Ghoul and you read the manga, you'd be like, okay, cool. I'm excited for like a game or the anime to come out. The anime rushed everything together. It looked like shit too. And then you're thinking, okay, cool. The anime wasn't the best in the world, but at least we'll have like a cool game that comes out. Call to Resist comes out for PS4 and other stuff. That game was awful. And they could think, okay, we're batting 1 out of 3. If they make a mobile game, it'll be good. And the mobile game was good. And Tokyo Ghoul has like a lot of mobile games, but I'm not sure if some of those are even like licensed. But when Tokyo Ghoul Rebirth came out, it was licensed, and it's like, oh my god, dude! Like this game looks amazing, and it's like it looks good, and the game was good. Okay, you know what? Let me tell you guys a story about my dedication to this game. Okay, so this game came out a few years back. I don't remember when, but there was one character and one character alone that I reset so many times. Okay, I remember I would reset on my phone and on my iPod Touch. Okay, I was so determined to get this character. You want to know who that character was? Heisei. Okay, I reset so many times to get Heisei just because at the time, and I mean I still am, but at the time I was a super big fan of Tokyo Ghoul, and I was like, okay, Heisei, I'm not playing this game until I get him. And like I said, I reset so many times for him, and I finally got him. And I was like, okay, cool. Now I can play this game officially. So that right there is like talks about my determination. Nowadays, I don't do that, but back in the day, like I remember I was resetting for Heisei in Tokyo Ghoul, and I was resetting for Wilfred in Epic 7 because I remember doing both of those. But anyways, the game really good. I loved it, and I would love for like there to be a private server for it, just so I can experience this game again. Because man, God, man, I miss this game so much, man. Moving on. The city of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Now, technically speaking, I should not have this on here because there might be a private server for this game out there somewhere, but I don't know. But yeah, honestly, this Final Opera Omnia was the reason why I decided to make this video, because a few nights ago, I was laying in bed and I was watching like the animations for the characters, because I was like, you know, man, I miss this game so much. Very, very friendly, like very, very free to play friendly. And it's just like, you know what, man, just to feel something, I'm gonna rewatch the characters' burst animations. And I was doing that, and I'm like, man, dude, I really can't believe that Square axed this game and didn't give it an offline version, because that's the easiest thing to give an offline version. You just stop supporting it and you just make it offline. Because there is a lot of content in this game. Like, if this game was still around today and you just started playing like in 2024, you would be busy for a while. And so I still don't understand why they didn't give her an offline. But anyways, yeah, this game is beautiful, especially considering, you know, that the Dissidia that we got for PS4 and PC was well, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, awful. This was something that people could play and be like, you know what, man, you know, we were all hyped up for the PS4 version of Dissidia, and that game was awful. So at least we can play this on our phones and have fun. And it wasn't one of those games to where you had to pay money for it. Sure, you could pay money for the game, but you would just pay that for skins, and that's it. I guess for gems too, but like honestly, if you invested, talking about investing in a mobile game is crazy, but if you invested your stuff right, you wouldn't have to spend money on the game, and you would have fun. But yeah, I miss Final Fantasy. I miss the city, man. I really swear, since we're not gonna get a new Dissidia, just give us the older ones for PSP and just port them to consoles and PC, to newer consoles and PCs. You'll make a lot of money. All the other companies are doing it, okay? But you know, I guess you guys don't want to. Anyways, another game, Monster Strike. Now this is technically cheating because Monster Strike is still very much alive, but the global version isn't, and I don't speak Japanese, so I would love for someone to like be able to preserve, or not preserve, but I guess like making a private server for Monster Strike just with English, like English everything, because it's very hard to play the game, especially when you don't know what you're doing, and trying to translate everything is awful. I know there's a lot of guides out there for it, but I just feel like not having to jump through so many hoops and hurdles to play this, and yeah, that's it. Monster Strike does a plethora of collabs. Okay, they've done a lot of collabs. At the time of me making this video, they're doing a collab with some show that I don't know about, but yeah, this game does all the collabs. Very fun. Once again, I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, but I'm like, yo, pinballs are kind of fire. So yeah, shout out Monster Strike. Another game. Why do I keep on transitioning with this? I should just move on to the next topic. The Dragon Project is another thing that I would love to have a private server, since at the time when this came out, before, actually, let me back up. So Dragon Project was literally like Monster Hunter, but for phones. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It's literally Monster Hunter, but with phones. And it was something unique because at the time, I hate how I keep on saying this, but at the time, Monster Hunter didn't have mobile games. And I mean, even today, it doesn't. It has Monster Hunter Go, but that's basically it. And with how popular Monster Hunter is, I am surprised that they have not milked this game dry on mobile games. But anyways, so once again, at the time, did not know nothing about Monster Hunter, and like, what can I say? I like games that like to customize like avatars and stuff, and some of the designs this game had were amazing. And I'm like, dude, this is cool. This is pretty damn cool. And yeah, I imagine, especially like in 2024 with how popular like Monster Hunter World is, Monster Hunter Rise, and all of the other ones, I imagine if someone made a private server, the game would be bustling full of people. I don't know if that's the proper word to use, but I imagine it would be super popular, and it would be a great time. But honestly, I don't think we're gonna get it, because I just think no one saved anything, unfortunately, like with a lot of these games on here. But you never know. Okay, you never know. But yeah, Dragon Project, man, God, that game was so fun. Mythra Spear is another one that I would like to have an offline server, shockingly, because Mythra Spear is literally just like Unison League, but different. Like, what would you call it? Like a Walmart version of Unison League, I guess. And I mean, that's fine. You know, not every game on here has to be like something different. It can just be like the same thing, but just a little different. And that's what Mythra Spear was. And I like the way the characters looked and stuff. And yeah, that's literally it. All right, we have like 6 more to go, and then we are out of here. But another game, we're not transitioning back. Final Fantasy Record Keeper. Another game that I would love to have a private server, especially because with some of these, they seem difficult to do with like a private server. But Record Keeper is probably going to be one of the easiest ones to do, because there's no like you can't play online with this game. So it would literally just be like having a server just for everyone. And you know, this game was around for a super long time. Okay, I remember this game being out in like 2013 or something, when like mobile games weren't that popular. But this one was around for a really long time. The JP version is still around, but that's a lot of translating and understanding to do. And yeah, that's a lot. So yeah, I would love for this one to have a private server. Kingdom Hearts Unchained is the next game on here. Okay, once again, I have a history with this game. Okay, I played this so much, like in 2013 or something, like until it shut down. I used to play this game a lot. I remember when I got my iPod. I'm not an iPad. When I got my iPod, I had it on there for some reason. Oh, I remember, because at the time my phone didn't have a lot of storage, and yeah, that's why. And yeah, I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. Okay, and this was something so unique for the franchise, and also because, you know, Unchained ties into the whole Kingdom Hearts story, which I mean, I okay. But yeah, it was just something unique. It was and still is, well, not anymore, but it was one of the first mobile games for Kingdom Hearts, and it was amazing. I loved it. I loved the raid concept. I loved the concept of like summoning for characters, it was cool. It was really cool. And yeah, yeah. I don't have nothing else to say about that. Now, technically speaking, it still is quote unquote alive, but not alive at the same time. It's so Unchained got shut down, but they have a new version of it called like Dark Road, but it's not the same. Okay, it doesn't scratch that same itch that one. So yeah. Pokemon Duel. Now, I don't know how many people are gonna remember this, but Pokemon Duel was something so interesting. Okay, because the way the game was, I can't remember how the game was. God, it's been so long since I played that game, and I can't anymore. But I really don't remember. I just missed it. Okay, I just missed that game. Though I think now in 2024, if I did play it, I probably wouldn't like it. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Just bring it back anyways. Okay, that's all that matters. All right. So we are down to the last 1, 2, 3. Okay. We'll start with this one, and then okay. Mobius Final Fantasy is another one that I would love to have an offline server, and I haven't thought about this game in years until I got like a comment on it a while ago for some video that I made, and it made me think about how ahead of its time this game was, because this is probably one of the first mobile games to ever like be on Steam. Because I don't remember when this game came out, but whenever it came out, the concept of a mobile game being on a computer was something ridiculous. Like no one ever thought about that being a thing. Well, this game, and then putting it on Steam was something so like mind blowing, because it's like, oh my god, I can play this game on my computer with like a bigger screen and everything else. The game was amazing. I have so many memories of like being out and playing this game and stuff. God, this was honestly probably one of the best mobile games out there. I think it won awards too and stuff. But yeah, if anyone can ever bring this game back to life, please. All right. Naruto Blazing. And I know that there's been a lot of talk about this game possibly coming back, which we still don't know. Because apparently someone is working on an offline server, but we don't know if that's true or not. But I don't have to say anything about this, okay? Blazing was a fire game that Bandai Namco, backstabbed, kind of like Madara. And yeah, if it was alive today, it would be so popular, especially due to like how popular Naruto still is. Yeah, it would be so good, because let's talk about this for a second. Because Naruto does not have that many mobile games. What does it have? Ninja Voltage. Oh my god, who's playing Ninja Voltage? No one. And it has Storm, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, that's coming out in like a few days. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, we have so much like mobile game. No, we don't. So Blazing was perfect, and I still don't understand why they did what they did. It was something that I would definitely love to come back. And Brave Frontier, obviously, but then again, this one is technically getting, is getting a private server, but still, I couldn't resist. Okay, I couldn't resist. Okay, Brave Frontier was my life. Okay, for the longest time, Shion from Brave Frontier was the channel's profile picture until I changed it to Vox from Grand Summoners. Okay, what do you want me to do? I loved that game. But anyways, let me stop writing Brave Frontier's meat, and let me let me write another game's meat. Tales of Link. Y'all should have seen this coming. Okay, y'all should have seen this coming. Big Tales of fan. Okay, I love Tales of. It's a great franchise. It has introduced so many great characters. Yeah, I love the Tales of franchise. I loved Tales of Link. It was unique, literally unique, because it was a puzzle game, kind of. And I don't explain myself. I like Tales of Link, okay? The game, amazing. They introduced so many different characters. could introduce so many different characters, but I just like the game. Okay, I just like the game. I miss it. All right, I'm losing my mind. All right, I wish this game shut down like this year so we had people to preserve it, but yeah, yeah. So yeah. Uh, if you guys were surprised that I said Tales of Link, you should not have been surprised. Okay, whenever I do a video on gacha games that I missed, it always makes the honorable mentions or somewhere. Okay, what can I say? Delusional about Tales of, but yeah, that was my list of games, mobile games that I would love to have an offline server of. Do you have a list of ones that you would want to have an offline server? And I'm going to end the video because I'm losing my voice and my throat is killing me. So yeah, if you have any mobile games that you would love to get an offline version, leave it in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Got my throat.